onto your butts.
Yeah, I'd say we've reached locusts on fire raining down from the sky level with this franchise. And with the ending of Dominion comes many questions, storyline endings, and possibilities for more. What exactly does the ending of Jurassic World Dominion entail? Let's dive in right now. Spoilers abound.
Well, good luck.
Wait, man, word travels fast.
Jurassic Park is one of the greatest films of all time. In 2001, we got Jurassic Park 3, and maybe one of the most lackluster endings to not only a movie but a trilogy ever seen. Look, I know Ellie Sattler is great, but there's no way anyone has a direct line to the Army and the Marines and can have them to random islands in the middle of nowhere in a very short amount of time like that. The original Jurassic Park was very much the story of Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm. Jurassic Park 2 and 3 continued some of their stories, but I don't think any fan would say they ever felt satisfied with where things left off. Therefore, when Jurassic World Dominion announced the return of these beloved characters, all in one place for the same time since 1993, we all hoped for a satisfying ending to the original trilogy, as well as the new one. Did we get that? Well, that's definitely up for you to decide. But some themes and storylines were definitely touched upon. First is the will they won't they story of Alan and Ellie. There was always some flirtation from Ian, but everyone believed that Ellie and Alan would end up together.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
However, in Jurassic Park 3, many people were surprised to see Ellie reappear only now with a family that did not include her good friend Alan Grant.
It's a big problem.
I know.
However, in Dominion, we learn that Ellie's children have gone off to college, and her husband and her have separated, allowing Alan and Ellie to finally get together, with Alan ultimately choosing her over his work. We also got the voice of reason in Ian Malcolm back, serving the villains as literally their devil's advocate, and ultimately being the one responsible for leaking their genetic breeding of locusts to Ellie. Henry Wu returns for what appears to be the 100th time in this franchise, again being the catalyst for whatever disaster has befallen our characters. Only this time, he decided to undo the mess he had created, showing character growth that really should have happened a long time ago.
I don't blame people for their mistakes, but I do ask that they pay for them.
Not only did we have the original trilogy to wrap up, but the Jurassic World trilogy as well. It's been a time. First off, we see what some side characters are up to, and will continue to be up to these days. For example, Franklin now works for the CIA, and apparently is just allowed to give out classified information willy-nilly after working there for what, a week?
This is so stupid.
Omar Sy returned as Owen's old assistant Barry, still working in very exciting fields. But the majority of the story really focuses on Owen, Claire, and the recently introduced Maisie Lockwood. Maisie, believed to be a clone of Benjamin Lockwood's daughter Charlotte, has been raised by Owen and Claire for the past 4 years. It should be noted that the two of them answered their will they won't they a lot faster than Alan and Ellie. Together, they lived in the woods and tried to protect her, but it was inevitable that she would be found and taken. However, after taking down insert generic evil corporation here, the three of them can now live together as a family, with basically a pet velociraptor in their backyard. It was revealed throughout the film that Maisie's mother Charlotte actually figured out how to reproduce on her own, and structurally changed Maisie's cells so that she could survive the genetic disease that would be her demise. This scientific breakthrough is what allowed recurring character Henry Wu to end the locust infestation he had unleashed on the world. These three are responsible for setting dinosaurs loose on the world, and now have to live with the future they've created. However, as an old recording of Charlotte Lockwood explained, it is important that everyone learns to live together, coexisting, which is what the end of the movie is really all about. At the end of the film, everyone lives happily ever after. Ellie, Alan, and Ian all advocate against the actions of biosyn. Owen, Claire, and Maisie live happily ever after, and the world successfully adjusts to living with dinosaurs. So it seems like that's a wrap. Or just is it? If there's one thing this franchise shows us, it's that no matter how many times some money-hungry millionaire wants to play God and gets eaten for it, someone will always come along and try and do the same thing. In this film, the evil head of biosyn genetically engineered giant locusts in order to wipe out the food supply across the country. Playing with genetics means that all sorts of creatures beyond just dinosaurs are now in play should this franchise continue. Not only will evil always arise, but we got some hints at the idea of dinosaur evolution in this film. Alan makes a remark that velociraptors used to go for the gut and learned to go for the throat. Alan and Ian are both amazed at the idea of Owen being able to successfully train raptors. Domesticated dinosaurs could become a thing in the near future of this universe. All I know is I want to see Chris Pratt riding on the back of a T-Rex to fight the next kaiju that the evil corporation makes, and alongside him is a velociraptor that has learned how to speak and only says the word Alan.
I couldn't agree with you more, sir.
Whether this is truly the end or there is more to come, Jurassic World Dominion was one wild ride that left the world in a much different state from where the franchise began. All I know is should it return, it can only get crazier from here.